Z1 blindfold tile puzzle. App switcher. Audio escape room. App activate default talk to audio escape room. More info. Microscope. The lab. Alibaba. Level medium. Microscope. The lab. More info. Microscope. The lab. Microscope. The lab. Alibaba. Level medium. Discover a new way of playing by connecting. Microscope. Available locations. Co-fun. Level easy. Button. Level easy. Co-fun. Level. We are in the famous keyhole tomb of the Japanese Emperor Nintoku. We are in the famous keyhole tomb of the Japanese Emperor Nintoku. You and I were trapped in a forbidden room. Enter the room. Button. Enter the room. On the altar, someone left pictures of famous people. What link can they have? Umar Tal, Napoleon, August, Genghis Khan and Qin Shi Huang. Response. On the altar, someone left pictures of famous people. Response. Submit. Button. Response. Text field. Submit. Indice. Finality of 30 seconds. But. Nintoku is 1. Response. Text field. Nintoku is 1 2. On the altar, someone left pictures of famous. Response. Submit. Button. Submit. Bad response. Response. 1. On the altar. Response. Submit. Button. Indice. Finality of 30 seconds. Nintoku is. Response. Submit. Button. Response. Text field. Double tap to. Nintoku is 1 2. Response. Text field. 1/3. Co-fun. 1/ On the altar, someone left pictures of famous people. What link can they have? Umar. Indice. Submit. Button. Indice. Submit. Response. Text field. Text field is editing. Insertion point at end. Insert. Clear text. But. Submit. Button. Submit. Bad response. Indice. Response. Finality of 1 minute. Response. Finality. Indice. Finality. On the altar. 1/ On the text. Cleared. Submit. Button. Submit. Good response. Indice. Finality of 3rd. Submit. Response. Text. Let's take a closer look at the statue of the emperor. Behind, there are drawings. A full moon, a sun, a circle and a wheel. What do they have in common? Indice. Response. Finality of 1 minute. Button. Response. Indice. Disk. Text field. Let's take disk. Submit. Button. Submit. Good response. I will now maneuver the disk to the right of the door. It syncs to reveal a sequence of numbers. 11, 13, 2, 7, 17 and 19. One of them seems suspicious to me. Which one? Indice. Submit. Button. Response. Text field. Text field is editing. Insertion point at end. Clear text. Button. Submit. Button. Submit. Bad response. Indice. Submit. Text field. I will now maneuver the disk to the right of the door. It syncs to reveal a sequence of numbers. 11, 13, 2, 7, space. Insert. Space. Done. 13. Bad response. Space. Inserted. Space. N. Space. Done. 7. Bad response. E. Double Q. Response. Indice. Finality of 30 seconds. Submit. Button. Text field. I will now maneuver the disk to the right of the door. It syncs to reveal a sequence of numbers. 11, 13, 2, 7, 17, space. Insert. Space. 1, 1. Space. Done. 11. Bad response. Space. E. Double Q. Response. Indice. Submit. Button. Text field is edited. I will now maneuver the disk to the right of the door. It syncs to reveal a sequence of numbers. 11, 13, 2, 7, 17 and 19. Space. Insert. Space. Done. 2. Bad response. R. E. Double Q. Indice. Submit. Text field. I will now maneuver the disk to the right of the door. It syncs to reveal a sequence of numbers. 11, 13, 2, 7, 17 and 19. One of them seems. Space. Insert. Space. 7. Space. Done. 17. Bad response. Space. Indice. Finality of 3rd. Response. Finality of 1 minute. Response. Indice. Submit. Button. Clear text. Button. Text field is editing. 2. Clear text. Button. Submit. Button. Submit. Good response. Congratulations. Let's press number 2. The door. Your time 4 minutes 6 seconds elapsed. Let's press number 2. The door opens. We will not be immortal. Let's press number 2. Your time. More info on the continue. Continue. Button. Selected. Co-fun. Level. Obelisk. Level medium. Button. Obelisk. Enter the room. The hatch to exit the Washington Monument Pyramidion is blocked. Enter the room. Enter the room. Button. Enter the room. Around me. Response. Text. Around me, I observe a scale, a hammer, a sword and a book of law. What can bind them? Submit. Button. Indice. Response. Finality of 1 minute. Response. Indice. Justice. Text. Submit. Button. Submit. Good response. On a painting is drawn Wall Street, a hand holding bills and especially the famous double-barred S. There is certainly something in common. Response. Submit. In dice. Penalty of 30 seconds. Button. Response. Penalty of 1. Response. In dice. Submit. $. On a painting is $. Submit. Button. Submit. Good response. On the floor spread different encryptions of the famous code talkers. Navajos, Choctaws, Cherokees, Comanches and Mesquakas. What do they have in common? Response. Submit. In dice. Response. Penalty of 1 minute. Response. In dice. Submit. Indian. On the floor. Indian. Submit. Button. Submit. Good response. Congratulations. I enter your time 46 seconds elapsed. I enter the last word in the computer. The lock opens and the computer makes the soul. It was time. More in. Continue. More. Your time 46 seconds elapsed. More in. Continue. Button. Selected. Obelisk. Level. Submarine. Level. Selected. Submarine. Level hard. Button. Submarine. Level hard. I am diving. Enter the room. Button. I am diving in a submarine in the Bermuda Triangle. I am diving in a submarine in the Bermuda Triangle. While approaching the SS Cotopaxi wreck, a paranormal phenomenon disturbs my navigation instruments. Enter the room. Button. Enter the room. My screen. Response. Text field. Submit. My screen displays old distress messages from sunken wrecks. What is the in dice? Penalty of response. My screen displays old response. Submit. But response. Text field. Text field is editing. Insertion point at end. Insert. Clear text. Button. Submit. Button. Submit. Good response. Response. Text field. Submit. In dice. Submit. Response. The screen now displays an enigmatic sentence. What do we throw away when we need it and bring it back when we do not? Respond. Submit. In dice. Penalty of response. Penalty of response. In dice. Submit. Anchor. Text field. Submit. In dice. Penalty of 30. Submit. Button. Submit. Good response. Response. Text. A signal in Morse code is broadcasted inside the cockpit. Ellipsis. 3 hyphens. Ellipsis. What does it mean? Response. Submit. In dice. Penalty of 30. Response. Penalty of 1. Response. In dice. Submit. S. A signal in Morse code is broad 3/3. SOS. Text field. Submit. Button. Submit. Good response. Congratulations. Without further explanation, I take control of my submarine back. Strangely, the SS Cotopaxi sails in a desert of sand. More info on your time 9 seconds remaining. More continue button. Selected submarine stadium level selected stadium level medium button. Stadium level medium at the central stadium. Enter the room button. Enter the room. Enter the room button. Enter the response. Text submit response. First riddle. I am in dice. Penalty of 30. Submit button. Response. First riddle. Response. Text field. Double tap to text field is editing. Insertion point at end. Insert. L. Clear text. But submit button. Submit. Good response. Back button. 2 minutes 33 seconds. Stadium. 2/3. Congratulations. Here's the second riddle. The flag of Ivory Coast is orange, white and green. Response. Submit. In dice. Penalty. Response. Penalty of 1. Response. In dice. Submit. Congratulations. Here's Ireland. Text field. Submit button. Submit. Good response. Response. Very well done. But if you want to see the football game tonight, what death will you have to choose? Answer 1. B. Response. Submit. Button. In dice. Penalty. Response. Penalty of 1. Response. Penalty of 1. Response. In dice. Submit. Button. 2. Text field. Submit. In dice. Penalty of 30. Submit. Button. Submit. Good response. 2 seconds remaining. Back button. Congratulate. As a reward. Congratulations. As a reward for my good answers, I have the privilege of attending the football game on the bench, alongside the other players. More info on the location button. Your time 2 seconds remaining. Continue button. More info on the location. Your time 2 seconds remaining. Continue button. More info on the location. Continue button. Selected. Stadium. Level. Inca. Level hard button. Inca. Located in the enter the room. Enter the room button. Located in the heart of the Sacred Valley, here is the Sun Temple of Pisac in Peru. Suddenly, solar rays come out of one of the 10,000. Enter the room button. Enter the room. I am the god Rakosha. If you want to regain your sight, give me a response. Submit. But response. Text field. Text field is editing. Insertion point at end. Insert. R. Clear text. Button. Submit. Button. Submit. Bad response. Text field is editing. Submit. In dice. Response. Penalty of 1. Response. In submit. Button. I am the god Rakosha. Text field is editing. Blood. Clear text. Button. Submit. Button. Submit. Good response. And now, find the answer to this riddle. Whoever makes me also sells me. Whoever buys me does not use me. Whoever uses me does not know it. Who am I? Response. Submit. Button. In dice. Penalty of 30 seconds. Response. Penalty of response. In submit. Button. Coffin. Text field. Submit. In dice. Penalty of submit. Button. Submit. Good response. Response. Finally, here is a quipu. Knowing that the knots of 8 represent the hundreds and the complicated knots the tens. What are 15 knots of 8 added to 3 complicated? Response. Submit. In dice. Penalty of response. Penalty of 1. Response. In submit. 1530. Text. Submit. Button. Submit. Good response. Congratulations. Immediately, I regain my sight, and I pay tribute to the huge Inca tank in the Marca cemetery in front of me. Your time 1 minute 2 seconds. More info on continue button. Selected. Inca, level hard. Train, level medium button. Train, level medium. Enter the room button. Enter the room. In his cabin, the driver had hung pictures. Response. Submit. In dice. Penalty of 30 seconds. Button. Object used. Response. Text field. Object used to load coal. In his cabin. 1/3. Train. 2 minutes 90. Train. 1. In his object. Response. Submit. In dice. Response. Penalty of 1. In dice. Submit. Button. Shovel. Text. Submit. Button. Submit. Good response. Response. Text. I return the coal shovel. And I discover engraved numbers 1, 4, 9, 16, 25 and 36. What could be next number? Response. Text. Submit. In dice. Response. Penalty of 1. In. Submit. Button. 49. Submit. Button. Submit. Good response. Response. So I 3/3. So I keep the number 7. But I miss something. The driver had time to write these few lines on a stained sheet of blood. Response. Submit. In dice. Penalty. Response. Penalty of. Response. In dice. Response. Penalty. Response. In dice. Submit. Button. Screw. Text field. Submit. Button. Submit. Good response. Congratulations. Okay, I understood. I have to turn the 7th screw in order to stop this train. Your time. More. Continue. Button. More. Your time 1 minute 23 seconds. More. Continue. Continue. Button. Selected. Train. Level. Oasis. Select. Oasis. Level easy. Button. Oasis. The monk protecting the oasis of Dunhuang gives us a enter the room button. Enter the room. In a chest. Response. Text. In a chest of the palace, we find a ring, a washer, a halo, a compass and a hoop. Response. Submit. In dice. Penalty. Response. Penalty of 1. Response. In dice. Submit. Button. Circle. In a chest of the palace. Circle. Text. Submit. Button. Submit. Good response. In dice. Response. Response. In dice. Submit. But response. Our eyes are turning to the circle of signs of Chinese zodiacs: rat, ox, tiger, rabbit, snake, horse, goat, monkey, rooster, dog, pig. But there is one missing, isn't it? Submit. But in dice. Response. Penalty of 1. Response. In dice. Submit. Dragon. Submit. Button. Submit. Good response. 3 circles intertwine. 3 circles intertwine. A green circle, a red circle and a blue circle. What color can be obtained? Response. Submit. In dice. Response. Penalty of 1 minute. Response. In dice. Submit. Button. White. Text field. Text field. Clear text. Button. Submit. Button. Submit. Good response. Congratulations. In the Mahjong game, we give the white dragon tile to the monk. He opens the door with a smile in the shape of a crescent moon. Your time 46 seconds elapsed. More info. Continue. Continue. Button. Selected. Oasis. Secret base. Level medium. Button. Secret base. The alarm at the Pine Gap secret base has been triggered. Level. The alarm at enter the room. Enter the room. Button. Enter the room. Response. Text. The screen displays a sequence of numbers. Only one is useful. But which one? 59, 61, 6. Response. Submit. In dice. Response. Penalty of. Response. In. Submit. Button. 81. Text field. Text field. Clear. Submit. Button. Submit. Good response. Back button. Back button. 1 minute 43 seconds. Secret base. Braille. 2/3. Secret base. Speech and Braille. Braille. 2/3. The screen then displays images that rotate in loop. Duckbill, otter paw, beaver tail. Response. Text field. Submit. Button. In dice. Penalty. Response. Penalty of 1 minute. Response. In dice. Submit. Button. The screen then displays The screen then displays images that rotate in loop. Duck. Planet. Submit. Button. Submit. Good response. Response. The screen finally displays a very special puzzle through the fault. Response. Submit. In dice. Penalty. Response. Penalty of 1. Response. In dice. Submit. But secret. Text field. Text field. Clear. Submit. Button. Submit. Good response. Congratulations. The door open. Your time. More info. Continue. Continue. Button. Selected. Secret. Locker. Level easy. Button. Locker. Locker. Level easy. A blizzard damaged the access system at Svalbard. We are locked in the vault and the control computer is working strangely. Enter the room. Button. Enter the room. The screen displays a sequence. 8,760. Response. Submit. Button. In dice. Response. Penalty of 1. Response. In dice. 1. Text. Submit. Button. Submit. Good response. Then he shows us a strange enigma. I go around the wood without response. Submit. Button. In dice. Penalty of response. Penalty of 1 minute. Button. Response. In dice. Submit. Then he shows us a strange 2 slap. Then bark. Text field. Submit. Button. Submit. Good response. Response. The screen displays images in loop. Wheat, salt, sand, dust and hourglass. There must be something in comp. Response. Submit. In dice. Penalty. Response. Penalty of 1. Response. In dice. Submit. Button. Grain. Text. The screen. Grain. Submit. Button. Submit. Continue. Good response. Congratulations. For no apparent reason, access becomes free again. We can come out of the vault. Your time. More info on the location. But your time 38 seconds elapsed. More. Continue. Button. Selected. Locker. Abandoned manor. Level easy. Button. Abandoned manor. Enter the room. When visiting the waterfalls of Tequendama, we should not have entered this abandoned mansion. The legend says true, it is haunted and we are prisoners. Enter the room button. Enter the room. On a pedestal table, there are 4 bowls. A bowl filled with water, a bowl filled with soil, an empty bowl and a bowl with wood. A strange message is engraved beside the bowl filled with wood. When I eat I grow up and when I drink I die. What does it mean? Response submit indice. Banality of response. Banality of 1. Response indice submit fire. Text submit button. Submit. Good response. Response. Text. We crack a match in the bowl filled with wood and fire comes on. An enigmatic message appears on the wall. I live in a small house. I have a response. Submit. Indice. Banality. Response. Banality of 1 minute. Button. Indice. Response. Banality of response. Indice. Submit. Doll. Text. Doll. Submit. Button. Submit. Good response. Response. We take the voodoo doll. She immediately begins to speak and seems to describe something. I am bad and dreaded. I can be response. Submit. Indice. Banality. Response. Indice. Response. Banality. Response. Indice. Submit. Fall. We take the voodoo fall. Submit. Button. Submit. Good response. Congratulations. We throw the doll in the precipice. By disappearing into the water, the manor becomes calm again and we can go out. We swear to never wake up the spirits again. Your time 50 seconds. More info on the location. Continue button. Selected. Abandoned manor. Hospital. Select hospital. Level hard button. Hospital. Enter the room. Enter. A sandstorm broke the facilities at Coleman Scott Hospital in the Namib Desert. We are locked in. A sandstorm broke the facilities at Coleman Scott Hospital in the Namib Desert. We are locked in the German radiology room and have to find a way out. Enter the room button. Enter the room. Response. Text. Submit. Response. A first screen displays strange words. What is the link between response? Submit. Indice. Banality. Response. Banality of 1. Response. Indice. Submit. Button. Submit. Good response. Submit. 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 A second 2/3. A second screen displays this 3 or 582. Response. Submit. Indice. Response. Banality. Response. Indice. Response. Banality. Response. Indice. Submit. A second screen displays ersatz. Text. Submit. Button. Submit. Good response. Response. On the third screen 3/3. On the third screen, 3 letters rotate in their center. H. Response. Submit. Indice. Response. Banality of 1 minute. Response. Banality of 1 minute. But. Response. Indice. Submit. Cap. On the third screen, 3 letters rotate in their set. Cap X. Submit. Button. Submit. Good response. Congratulations. Speech and braille. Back button. We take an ersatz of diamond that we put it in the X-ray machine. A strange physical phenomenon occurs and the hospital facilities become functional again. Your time. More info on the location. Your time 41 seconds elapsed. More. Continue. Button. Selected. Fort. Level medium. Button. Fort. Enter the room. Enter the room. Button. Enter the room. Response. Text field. On the old metal box padlocked by a 3-digit number, an inscription is engraved. The 3 digits added. Response. Submit. Indice. Response. Banality of. Response. Indice. Submit. But 300. 3. On the old metal. 3. Submit. Button. Submit. Good response. Submit. 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 Button. 2/3. With this number, we can open the padlock. In the metal. With this number. Response. Submit. Indice. Submit. Button. Indice. Response. Banality of 1 minute. Response. Submit. War. Text. Submit. Button. Submit. Good response. Response. Text. In the box, there is a second paper with a drawing of a woman with a fishtail and response. Submit. Button. Indice. Banality. Response. Banality of 1 minute. Button. Response. Indice. Submit. Button. Siren. In the box. Submit. Button. Submit. Good response. Congratulations. We disassemble the audible alert device and we find a mechanism unlocking a backup hatch. Relieved, we take our boat back to London. Your time. More continue. Continue. Button. Selected. Fort. Bowyard. Level hard. Button. Bowyard. We enter the room. We have just been thrown into the jails of Fort Boyard with an old man. He has a long white beard and agrees to help us escape as long as we answer 3 riddles of his own. Enter the room. Button. Enter the room. This response. Text. This is my first puzzle. Yesterday, the king was beheaded. Today, the guard had his head cut off. How many people are dead? Response. Submit. Indice. Banality. Response. Banality of. Response. Indice. Submit. Button. 1. This is my first 1. Submit. Button. Submit. Good response. Response. Congratulations. Here is the second riddle. Alex's father has 4 boys. The first is. Submit. Button. Response. Submit. Indice. Response. Banality of 1 minute. Button. Response. Indice. Submit. Alex. Text. Alex. Submit. Button. Submit. Good response. Response. You are amazing. Here is my last riddle. It has only 1 color but it has 1,000 shapes. Response. Submit. Indice. Response. Banality of 1 minute. Response. Indice. Submit. Button. Shadow. Text field. Text field. Clear text. But submit. Button. Submit. Good response. Congratulations. With a toothless smile, the old fellow gives us the keys to the jails. He had them from the beginning. Your time 43 seconds. More info. Continue. Continue. Button. Selected. Boyard. New rooms will be available soon. Follow us on Facebook. Button. New rooms will be available soon. Follow us on social networks. Cheering Megaphone. Energy 106. Energy 106. Screen recording in progress. Button.